Hello everyone, and welcome to RPG Limit Break. I'm Selcouthmind. I am very excited for today's show, but first, a couple of very, very important announcements. RPG Limit Break is going to be hosting our annual charity event May 17th to 23rd in Denver, Colorado, and the important part is, today is the final day for game submissions. So, if you speedrun an RPG or something RPG adjacent, and you would like to submit to participate in the event, either in person or remote, please go to rpglimitbreak.com and get your submissions in. Those are going to close tonight. So get those in so that we can see your lovely submissions and potentially get to see you in the event. Now, of course, if you want to stay up to date with all things about RPG Limit Break, including when volunteer application and event registration are going to open, come join our Discord community or follow us on any of our socials to stay updated for all of that. Now, this is a Hidden Encounter show, which all previous episodes we've had mostly indie RPGs. Today we don't have indie RPGs, we have games made by Square, which I don't think we could make any argument for Square being indie, but they do have some lesser known games, including this next one, which is my favorite Final Fantasy game. Dan, why don't you tell us about this incredible Final Fantasy game?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm playing Final Fantasy VII, Dirge of Cerberus. This is a spin-off game of Final Fantasy VII, starring the titular Vincent Valentine, an optional party member from the original Final Fantasy VII, and he got his own video game, and not a lot of people liked it, but I like it. It's a very good speed game, and I am not alone in showcasing this game. I do have my brother in Dirge here. Why don't you introduce yourself, sir?
What up? My name is DECosmic. I run a lot of action games. I run ARPGs as well. Big Dirge enjoyer. What up, Dan? Good to be back.
Of course, glad to have you. So let's just go ahead and get right into this video game, yeah? Time is going to start when I select normal difficulty. And I'll give you a countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Dude. You got it.
So yeah, this is Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII. It is a spin-off game. It is a third-person shooter. And as you can imagine, in the PlayStation 2 era, a third-person shooter made by a company that is known for making JRPGs would have a very intuitive and very smooth third-person shooter video game. So we're going to start by grabbing this potion, and we're running away from the enemies, performing a movement technique known as city dashing. It's named after the person who invented the technique. And I was trying to hit that explosive barrel, but I missed, so that's all good. We're going to go ahead and try to blow that up and not...
That'll work.
Die.
But yeah, city dashing. Vincent has a dash. Oh yeah, we're going to go down here first and then hit all these guys with a good old air combo. And then this is going to be the first instance of a save cancel, so... Or you actually have a memory card in here, right?
Forgot to pull my memory card out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to pull it out. So, actually running with a memory card loses you like 5 minutes in this game, so we have a bunch of backup saves to use, should the need arise. But we run without a memory card because it will just save a bunch of time. There are things called save cancels in the game where you're just going to immediately select, okay, don't save, and then keep going. There's also Mako points here and a fire materia. Vincent can customize his guns in this game to not only have different barrels, but also have magic attached to them. Like different accessories, basically, you can carry 3 different guns on you at the same time. We're only going to be using Cerberus during this run. We're going to have 3 core guns for that. The game is often divided into these sections that are separated by these EM barriers, and you often have to pick up key cards to get through them. Sometimes we're going to be picking up the card key to do it. Other times we're going to have other methods. City dashing here, as we noted before, doing Vincent's dash into a jump, and then you're going to aim and then cancel the aim. And that is going to save you frames each time instead of just doing dash jumps. And then coming up here is actually going to be the first instance of a glitch called Zoom Hover. So essentially, when you zoom in the gun, you can cancel it frame 1. And if Vincent is in the air while he does the zoom and unzoom, we're just going to call it unzoom for concise purposes. But when that happens, he actually gains a little bit of height. So we're going to use zoom climbs and zoom hovers in order to get around certain triggers. So like right here, we're going to be skipping a cutscene that happens, as well as having to go over to this area on the left side and grab the sniper scope. We're just right in this area immediately. He's going to equip fire materia and then send these guys to the dustbin. Take these guys out, and then these dudes are coming down too. So this allows us to get a 8 chain, and then the chain shot mechanic in this game, when that chain expires, so your damage will build gradually as you build a chain shot, but then the next shot after the chain expires will have a multiplier on it depending on how much you've built the chain, and that allows us to do a lot of damage, like right there to the dragonfly. So when that disc in the upper
that was
right
a boss,
corner,
by the way.
right, that's a boss. Yes, that's not like a mini boss. That's the boss of this stage. We fight it twice, so I guess technically a mini boss, but whatever. This is also walking in the dark. Before the collision, before the textures load in for a lot of stages, you can actually just walk in the dark. I mean, as long as you know where you're going, so it'll save you a little bit of time having to wait for the textures to load in. The collision's all still there, and you can still move Vincent. There's Azul over here, just standing on business. Over to the right. Those guys, they were gone so fast.
We'll learn more about them later.
Yeah, we might not, you know.
In terms of story for the game, we're in the city of, this is Calm, right, that we're in?
Oh, yeah. This is that thing that we skip in the original Final Fantasy.
And these guys are members of Deep Ground. Deep Ground is an important organization in this game. It's also briefly mentioned in the remake trilogy whenever the 3rd game comes out. They kind of play a part in that game as well. But right now they are kidnapping people, children, both, who have the geostigma. That's what's going on in the lore. So yes, Advent Children is also relevant in this game too.
Yeah, I think this is the furthest forward in the timeline for the FF7, like the original FF7 compilation.
Yeah, they're kidnapping people who have had the geostigma, because at the end of Advent Children, the geostigma was cured. But so they're just capturing people who had the geostigma. And then this trick's a little hard, so I'm gonna let Cosmic.
So we're gonna. This is a tough one. So we're gonna go on into this fight here. We've equipped the long barrel and built a 3 chain so that we can knock down the helicopter here immediately. Get a couple more chains. Fortunate. Just gonna have to salvage it here. So what is supposed to happen there is we're supposed to do a fire shot on the barrels there in the background near the dragonfly, but unfortunately the targeting reticle really just kind of took over and only wanted to target the dragonfly itself. This was not as much of an issue when we actually got the sniper scope in this first mission, but now that we don't get the sniper scope, it's a little more difficult to do the fight. It is kind of like, it is a really tight window there. You saw like Dan micro adjusting the aim, and it is really just because it is a little bit finicky, because there are multiple ways you can actually set the targeting reticle to function in this game, and we set it to like auto or whatever it is. So it gives you a lot of leeway in terms of how it targets enemies, and this is really good for like, you know, not having to manually headshot everything. But it does create like little finicky moments like that. We're also going to grab all of the gil here, but whenever a mission ends, you can either grab gil or experience. And typically experience in this game really just gives Vincent more health effectively. It doesn't do a ton for you in terms of stats, in terms of what's related to the speed run. So we're going to just get the gil here, and we'll be spending that on upgrades for the gun. Leveling it up a ton, as well as buying a couple of things for it throughout the game. And now we're into the next level, into what everybody loves about action games personally, is turret sections. So
On rails turret
I know
section.
on rails turret sections.
Luckily, in the speedrun, there are other on-rails sections in the game casually, but this is the only on-rails section in the speedrun that we have to do. We actually have ways to skip all the other, like, turret sections.
Yeah, with, like, the developments that happened in the last couple of years for the game has 66% less turret sections, which is pretty sick. What's really funny, too, is that they have you build this, like, 45, like you can build up to like a 45 chain here, but they don't send you into a boss directly after this. You just fight normal enemies, so we'll never know exactly how much damage we could do to a boss because the next enemy we're gonna see is like a small dog that we're just gonna chop. We're just gonna karate chop him. Well, I karate chop him. I don't know what you do, Dan.
I also like to karate chop the dog. As one does.
As one does. But yeah, all these dogs here, karate chop. Basically here, you also want to make sure that you don't build too high of a chain, because the boss can actually have the damage underflowed on it, and it has a couple of different phases that we want to force it through. But if you build too high of a chain, you're just going to underflow the damage, just basically resulting in less damage overall being dealt, and then that'll make the fight longer than it has to be. And we're off to the on-rails section. Yay!
Yay.
This is also one of the few sections in the game, too, like this little climb here where city dashing is, like, just as fast as doing regular dash jumps here. It's like not a terrible time loss to just do regular dash jumps here just because you're on an incline. So now here is the Crimson Hound. It's going to go up top here, and then Dan is going to use...
And apparently I missed.
Shot there. What the heck? It was right on it, though.
Interesting.
Vincent. Yeah, I've not seen that happen before.
Oh well, he's gonna jump right in front of us.
Yeah, he's always gonna just jump right in front of you.
And I do need to kill one of the dogs, because the first like non-Crimson Hound dog that you take out is gonna drop a Thunder Materia, and that's, in the words of Mickey Mouse, that's a surprise tool that will help us later.
So now here's the Pegasus Riders. You can manipulate these guys by just kind of like standing around, and then they just end up charging you, and then you can just basically headshot their bike. And that was really clean. Like, wow, I didn't even get to talk about those guys. They're just gone, dude. They're just gone.
And then because this game is an RPG, we get a choice between leveling up or converting our XP into money, which we are going to do. And I'm also going to sell that so I can actually afford the sniper scope, which is what I forgot to do in the previous menu. But now we're good. Now we're square.
Nice. Now we're scoped.
Now we're scoped.
Now we're scoped. And now we're going into Silent Edge. And Silent Edge is, again, another instance where we're going to see this is, I think, one of the first like zoom climbs or zoom hovers that was added into the game. It skips a lot of just having to walk around and just do some meaningless stuff. But here we can just kind of hover over this gate and then just drop on in.
Mm-hmm.
And there we go.
I also wanted to point out that if you've seen me run this game at any other showcases, before I would use a keyboard plugged into the PS2. This game does have keyboard and mouse support. However, today we are promoting accessibility in speedruns. I'm playing with a turbo controller, so no mashing required on my part. I'm just holding down one button to perform these tricks, just because we want to promote accessibility in speedruns, and not damage our wrists just for the sake of playing one of our favorite games.
Yep. Important thing here is to just showcase how cool the game is.
Mm-hmm.
We love accessibility
So we
and
went right-
sustainability.
Oh, wow.
It's true. What? Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I have, that was a lot of damage. I wasn't sure exactly what happened there.
That guy said, access this headshot, and then took all of your life.
I might have to buy a Phoenix Down in the next menu.
Yeah, it seems to be the... I don't remember where there's like the backup Phoenix Downs, if there's any in the next couple of levels.
Yeah. Just play it safe.
So we're going to run through here. I think we can actually run through this guy. Oh, come on, guys.
Was that about playing safe?
Yeah, right. This whole area is just kind of like a mood killer sometimes, because the enemies here can be like real friendly, and then other times they just light you up, and it's like, well, here we are.
Yeah, this is one of the more challenging levels in the speedrun.
Yeah, it's one of the levels that, because it's so short, there's not really a lot of room for error, especially when it comes to like building the chains and everything here. That was almost unfortunate, but here we go. We're building one here as well for the next boss. Nice. And we got the 10 chain going on. So here's the soldier. He's got like a rocket-mounted cannon.
The sniper scope.
Uh-oh. Would you always restart and just like equip sniper scope?
Let's try that.
Or just as soon as you spawn in, just equip it, probably.
I was so focused on getting that chain set up that I forgot to equip my sniper scope.
It happens. PC port when, so we can get rid of some of these load times. Alright, here we go.
There we go.
Nice. There we go. Very good.
very
But
good.
as you saw, I really just demonstrated this is a normal boss where you just gotta, take down its HP with multiple hits. But with that chain shot mechanic that I was just telling you about, or that Cosmic was just telling you about, I was just able to shoot it in the head once and defeat him.
Yeah, something that people didn't really see because Dan is good at this game is that the rocket will sometimes like block your chain shot. So a big part of like optimizing that fight is just making sure that you actually are like walking backwards to prevent the rocket not being in your way. So, but like I said, Dan's good at the game, so that doesn't happen to him. Now me, on the other hand, that happens too a lot. So that rocket will just like eat your chain shot, and then it's like, well, I gotta restart here now. Unfortunate. This is also one of the levels that got cut in half, or maybe down to only 25% of its original length. Because we can just go back here by hovering over this door. We used to have to go around this entire section and defeat a bunch of enemies, go up and down these stairs, use some elevators, do like a whole little maze fight and everything, but we can just kind of go down to the final area now. Nothing doing. We got the power cross there. We're going to use that later. Get these guys. These dudes with the fire shot. Bada bing, bada boom.
Oop.
Nice. And the 12
Shot
chain.
behind him.
Yeah, that was weird. So the
So
12
this is
chain here
another
is going to be good. Go for it.
Yeah, this is another chain that we're going to use for this boss. This is a blink and you'll miss it moment, as many of the bosses in this game are.
Yep. This is the boss is Shulk here.
Yeah, this is Shulk. Yeah. And the strat's pretty easy here. You just flick the right analog stick to the 2 o'clock position and then hit R1. That's literally what I do. You can do it at home. Unless I miss.
Play along.
I was literally just talking up how easy it is and then I missed.
Hey, man. I feel like that's the... What is the like first-person perspective version of Commentator's Curse? I guess that would just be like Player's Curse or something like that. I don't know. Yeah,
I think we tend to call that Runner's Curse.
Runner's curse, yeah, that'll work too. Yeah.
Luckily, I get another shot at it.
Yep. That is the nice thing about restarting, is that in this game, like, it'll retain your chain shot. It won't show it. Visually, it just won't show that you still have the chain shot, but it will retain it if you restart from a checkpoint, which is always nice. So your run is not, like, immediately dead. If you miss a chain shot on a boss, you can always just restart it. Especially good if you're, like, just learning. So now here, Azul can only really take damage from the barrels here. So that is why Dan is just using the barrels. He might be doing a Sunday stroll here. Yeah.
Nice Sunday stroll. Let's go.
Nice, and he's down. Gotta use the collateral damage. There are times where Azul can just, like, pound the ground with his gun, and he'll cause shockwaves to come out, and that's just just straight time loss. But fortunately, he did not do that. And we actually got to say Sunday stroll and have it make sense because today is Sunday. So
it is Sunday. Not only is it Sunday, you just reminded me, Cosmic, but today is also... Yesterday was Valentine's Day. Today is Vincent Valentine's Day.
So true. So true.
You know, I meant to say that fact at the start and forgot, so thank you for telling folks about it.
All right, so now we are in Manor of Despair. This is where we're going to fight some Sahagins. This is also one of the only areas where, like, the no major glitches category for this game too. That too, yeah. This is only one of the only areas where, like, no major glitches actually has a faster section, quote unquote, than any %. Because in no major glitches, you can actually just, like, go off the edge here and then go over the keycard gate. But for us, in any %, we're actually going to be grabbing a keycard here for a huge time save later. We got the card key, and then...
Yeah, this is what's known as keycard preservation. And so I grabbed the card key that is meant for that EM barrier, but I am now taking it with me, not using it on the EM barrier, and it is still in my inventory. If I were to open up my, like, item menu, it would say I have a key card in there. Grab that for safety too. It would say that I have a key card in there, but I am not using it on its intended EM barrier. Instead, I'm going to take it with me, and we're going to use it somewhere in another stage entirely, actually.
Yep. So we grabbed another key card here, too, from another Sahagin. Now, what this level does is it will actually just always take an extra key card from your inventory at the end. So we're going to try and end this level with 2 in our inventory. So when we get to the next level, we'll have 1 more. I also like here where, like, the textures overlap when you skip a cutscene. Yeah, like the only game to have inherent burn-in during a cutscene skip.
Oh, by the way, Cosmic, I am going to show off a little something with the power of Turbo.
Oh boy.
Coming up very shortly.
I'm
going a little bit off script. But I'm going to do a menu here. What was that?
I said, don't do this to me. Alright, so there we set up some gun stuff. You are free to go off script before I explain the actual guns and everything. Or do I have
that's
time
good.
to explain
That's going to be for the next Zoom climb thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So there we set up a bunch of different... yeah, so we have basically 3 different types of guns that we use in this. They're all based on Cerberus, or they all use Cerberus as a base. The first gun in like where it says 1, there's 1, 2, and 3 down there in the bottom left. The first gun is our primary physical damage dealer. The second gun that Dan currently has equipped right now with the Thunder Materia on it has now been upgraded to a Fundaga, so that is going to be our primary magic damage dealer. And then the third gun has the Power Cross equipped to it, which is we're going to be using some melee attacks on certain enemies. And that is the Power Cross will buff the melee attacks that Vincent has. So very much like a delegation of certain certain damage types.
This is where I'm going
Oh,
off
this is
script. So normally,
wow.
in a speedrun without turbo, you go into that room and you activate the door. But with turbo, it is much easier to jump on top of that storage container outside of the room. The room like closes and you have to fight waves of enemies, and then the door eventually opens. But we skip that with the zoom climb. But using turbo, you can jump on the shipping container outside of the room, and then you'll be higher in the air when you perform the zoom climb.
Well, how about that? Oh, so now we're into the Ketchi section here.
Oh, man.
Oh no.
Visible walls.
Yeah. So I think it's just because of like it loading, basically. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's
But
a
this is
wall.
it's supposed to be like a stealth section, but we are very much not going to be treating this as a stealth section. We're just going to be kind of running through. Also, Ketchi can get shot during this load screen. Fortunately, he did not. He can also, I think, get shot during the last part
Pretty
here.
low health,
But
so I'm kind of nervous. Oh, come on.
yep.
Whoo! 7 health. 7 health. Final
7
Fantasy
health
7 health.
Let's go.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that was actually kind of scary. Oh
Good
my
grief.
goodness.
Oh my gosh. And now we are here back with Vincent. We're only going to play Ketchi for like that part of the game. I mean, I appreciate it, but okay. So now we're back on Vincent. We have to activate this cutscene in order for the collision to load in for the next part that we're going to skip to. This tells us to collect like the Omega files and stuff like that. We're definitely going to do that for sure. Trust me, game. Actually, what we're going to do is go right through the ceiling here. You will see the entire mines area that we're
not
supposed to be going through.
Right now.
Definitely not. No.
Come on, let me through. Oh,
there we go. Nice, yeah. We're gonna get some extra bullets here too, which is always nice, and also a limit breaker. And then those guys are just gonna ignore us because those enemies like aggression triggers is either like on Vincent attacking them, but also like him reaching a certain point in the level. So because you come out at like an unintended spot, they just ignore him. We're gonna do some city dashes up here. These enemies are like really aggressive today.
yeah.
They know that they're on RPG limit break.
That's all good. That's why we have the safety Phoenix down.
Yes, sir. We know what it is.
Safety Phoenix downs, they just bring you back to full health without getting a game over. If I do die again, though, this time I will get a game over. And have to restart just from a certain checkpoint. Not the whole stage, luckily.
Yeah, the only bad part about that is that you do end up losing the chain shot if you have to like restart from a death checkpoint.
True.
This is another big chain that we're going to build here for another boss. You guessed it. And we're going to reach this point right here.
So I have a question for everyone. Do you like big damage numbers?
Love big damage numbers.
So right now, with our current setup in the game, the damage cap is at 9,999, and this upcoming enemy has 10,000 health. So watch what happens. That was the boss.
Now he's gone. Yeah, there's the Black Widow boss.
Beautiful.
So you have to just melee him once. Yep. I love Vincent also just like twirling his gun and then just putting it away there. So stylish.
Very cool. I'm going to see what my money looks like and see if I can afford another safety Phoenix down and maybe some healing items too.
Good shout.
Power booster, yeah. Okay, excellent. We had just the right amount of money.
Gaming. All right, so now moving into, I believe this is Deep Ground Strikes Back.
Yes.
Yep. I often get this and like Midgar Assault confused. I don't know why, but I just do. So this is Deep Ground Strikes Back. This is actually one of the longer levels, but we're going to fortunately be able to cut it down a little bit as well. There's a lot of cutscenes to skip here too. I remember from when I was like grinding this game,
Big
I was like, wow,
part of the game.
there's a lot of cutscenes here. We're gonna fight. We're gonna use the Thundaga on these guys, and then we're actually going to take down the EM barrier here before the other enemy spawns in. So then when we take that out and it drops its key card, we'll be able to just carry that forward as well.
Yeah, that specific EM barrier that I went and opened first before I grabbed that key card, it's basically coded to set the number of key cards in your inventory to 0. So you want to open the barrier first and then go grab the key card so we can have that extra preserved key card that we had in the previous chapter, Manor of Despair. And that's going to help us skip an on-rails turret section coming up in just a little bit.
Yeah. What's interesting too about like the way that this game has, you know, gotten quicker is that we've had less and less money to work with and less items every time a huge skip is found. So like every time they we skipped an on-rails turret section, the entire like money route had to be redevised and like the entire upgrade route had to get a lot more lean. He's gonna fly down again like Batman. Oh, that guy escaped.
Always.
That's unfortunate. Always unfortunate.
Yeah, you can get up to a maximum of 4,000 gil from defeating those 4 enemies. They were like the 2 crawlers and then 2 soldier guys. It's fine. The gil route allows for little mistakes like that, and we get random RNG gil drops from enemies.
Yeah, that's fine. Also, that was supposed to be where the turret section was, but the game is nice and it handles being sequence broken quite well. So Dan just was able to use that key card, and the game's just like, oh, okay, you must have completed the turret section. Go on through, friend. And here we are. So we just get to move to the rest of the level.
Created equal in this game, so
yep.
Even though it came from a completely different stage, it still counts.
Oh, nice. I forgot about that backup heal. It's a good shout.
Mm-hmm. Gonna do another chain shot setup here. And I did recently, if this doesn't work, okay. Messed it up, but that's okay. I did discover a backup in practice recently. It's actually very obvious when you think about it.
I have not seen this backup, so I am excited.
You have to skip 2 cutscenes here. And a save cancel.
Good old save cancel.
Okay, here's the backup. You just kill these dudes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that is pretty obvious.
Pretty obvious when you think about it.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, there's all these guys.
Cool. So now we have a 5-shot and shoot and shoot. And everybody's gone. Because Thundaga, the way that it works is that it just is an area of effect attack, and it will just chain to each enemy, and it just does a ton of damage. So, especially with the multipliers from chain shots, yeah, everything's going down. We will end up wrapping up this part of wrapping up this level with this section here too, which is just going to have us backtrack from an earlier stage where we did that big zoom climb.
Like to not use any of my healing items if I can help it, but we're safe down here.
This is another one of those areas that can just be real mean in terms of like the RNG damage that you take.
And that is Deep Ground Strikes Back.
Nice. Now we're gonna move into the Shara. The Shara is like a walk and talk section essentially. There's a lot of like lore that kind of gets dumped on you. So it is like a nice little, like, you know, after all this stuff that you've had to do, like there's really intense zoom climbs and chain shots and everything, it's a nice like little break in the game. But I do want to like take a second to talk about like how much this game got rebalanced from its original Japanese release. So in the original Japanese release, Square, like specifically, I think has said that they did not have people that were experienced in third-person shooters on this team because they really wanted to learn how to make third-person shooters. And so there's like a lot of balancing issues with the original Japanese release where Vincent often is like quite stationary when he has to shoot his gun, and it like zooms in the camera a lot more, like to over his shoulder, like almost like RE4 style. And one of the big changes that they made was like making penalties to movement a lot less heavy coming into the international releases for the game. They also made it so that his melee attack is less hits but does more damage. So you don't have to like melee enemies nearly as much. They also zoomed out the camera. They also made him walk 1 meter per second faster. In the original release, I believe he walks 4 meters per second, and in this version, it's this and like PAL version, he walks 5 meters per second. You also could not shoot or aim while jumping in the original Japanese release. You obviously can in this version. So they did a lot to make the game just a lot more fluid, a lot more mobile, a lot more fast paced. And I really appreciate like everything that they learned and took to heart while rebalancing the game for the international releases, because what we ended up with is quite a fun game, you know. And I don't know what exactly that they would have changed if they had like another go round to do it, but I'm sure like whatever they came up with would be awesome, because this version of Dirge, like, say what you will about the story, but like the mechanics that are here are really quite fun and are a result of them like listening, like understanding feedback and understanding what they could do to make the game like feel just a lot more mobile and a lot more fast paced.
Yeah, well said. This is just the Sheriff. There's not a whole lot going on in the game. We are just talking to NPCs. There's no action.
Yep. There's Shelk as well here, who, to quote my boy Maxi Lobes, is indulgent care. She's recovering from the chain shot that we hit her with earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, this game lends itself to so many wonderful jokes.
It does
incredible.
indeed. It's like the Limp Biscuit of video games.
The Limp Bizkit. That's so... Why is that so succinct? Oh man.
I will point out there's been a couple people in chat who've blinked when you've done some of those boss fights. If you also blinked and missed those boss fights, you can go to youtube.com/RPG Limit Break after the show finishes today, and you can go catch up on the VOD and go rewatch those boss fights, because they're really cool. They're just very fast.
Yeah, they're quite fast. I remember hearing about some of the history behind those boss fights where you used to have to fight them straight up. And I'm like, man, I'm glad I came in when more of the routing for this game was done. Because having to do some of those boss fights with like the limit breaker fights, you know, because like Shelk, for example, you used to have to fight with a limit breaker straight up. And I'm like, I don't know about all that. That doesn't sound too fun. We're going to dip our toes in the engine room here, and we're out of the Shara. So now the playtime's over.
Yep. We're getting into some serious territory now.
Yep, we are on the Midgard assault.
We are almost at the halfway point of the run, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's so funny to me how like how much happens in this run, and then you're like, oh yeah, we're only like halfway through, and it's like, whoa, dude, because there's a lot that's packed into the game, but it's still a relatively short run. So it's always really cool to think about like how far the game's come in that regard.
Yeah, on average, you could say that a run of Dirge of Cerberus is like an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 25 maybe.
Hour 30, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but really, like, it is a fast hour and a half
Fast game
that you are playing.
Yeah, you are always doing something pretty much. Hit those guys with Undaga shot. Gonna set up on here for another chain shot. And we're going to carry this chain shot over to the next batch of enemies. We used to fight a lot of the enemies in this area. There used to be like a whole like other thing that we used to do, but there's another zoom climb that got implemented in this level. We just have to make sure that we don't shoot anyone. So we're going to climb right here. This is also going to be part of key card preservation as well, if I remember correctly. Unless, no, you don't get it until you actually fight that boss. You don't fight, you fight that enemy, I'm sorry. So we went over the gate here.
If you touch the top of the EM barrier's like invisible wall, you lose all of your momentum and you drop back down to the ground like a stone. So, but I've got a turbo controller, so I can just climb back up again.
Yup. Now we're going to be making the trek to the next boss. I think the smoke there has a hitbox on it. Always funny. Or
it kind of does.
I guess
it's a weird hit.
Like it's a collision box, yeah. It's so funny. Now again, we're just carrying the chain shot here. One of like the smaller like points of error in runs, right, is that you want to make sure that when you're doing city dashing, you're not accidentally firing the gun, because then you're just going to lose your chain shot and you'll have to find a backup place to do it. And a lot of the ways that like the game is routed, it's constructed around doing a chain shot in like the earliest possible like convenience, and then you just kind of carry it to where you need it. So if you know, end up misfiring later in the level, then it can spell disaster, but fortunately there are some backup chains in most of the missions. Dan's also going to be grabbing some backup gil here, just because we are a little short on gil. Just to play it safe.
And coming up is the Deep Ground Commander. This is another one of those, like, you're fighting against one boss with like a bunch of mobs, but you're just gonna shoot him in the face.
I'm going to hit you with lightning.
Yep. And then we got a smaller chain off of killing all those enemies, and we're gonna hit that guy in the back of the head and set up another chain shot. This one's gonna be a little tight.
Yep. So because we actually hit that enemy before he was supposed to note, like before he noticed us, it actually prevented those soldiers from coming forward. And that's the reason that that chain is possible, is because they hang back and then Dan can stagger out his chain building in order to reach that final group and get the chain shot built to 10 here. This is Shrike Shot, or the Shrikes. The Shrike Shot is going to deal a bunch of damage here, but we'll explain. I'll let Dan do it, and then we'll explain some stuff.
You have your orders. Don't let him get away.
All right.
I don't think that
looks
was
good to me.
Full amount, but
Was the full amount or not?
It was not.
Oh, it was like good enough though, I think, right?
We'll see.
Well, yeah, we'll see. So basically the way that ranking works in Dirge of Cerberus is that it measures how much damage you deal with like certain types of, or different types of damage.
Too late in my timing.
Yeah, it's a tough one. But basically the idea is that since we're hitting multiple targets for so much damage, we end up gaining a bunch of gil from it, because it grades us on how much magic damage we end up dealing, and we end up like overflowing that a lot. So we did get a bunch of gil here, fortunately. I don't think it's as much as we normally get from doing the strike shot, because if you if you properly overflow the damage there, it just like gives you tons and tons of gil, and sets you pretty much back on course for like an old any percent, what is now like the no major glitches route.
So we are limit flex viable, but I think I need a 15 chain, which I'm going to
That sounds about
really
right.
try for.
Yeah.
Because I want to show off that
I
trick.
Yeah. I believe.
Cool little another turbo controller thing going off script a little bit for Cosmic.
Oh no.
Oh, I was too far back.
Oh no. Yeah, it's
Shouldn't-
fine.
So these enemies
there's
that
like a
are
small
like
trigger
tunneling
there.
out. Yeah, there's a trigger back there to make these enemies not spawn, which results in us not having to kill them, taking out the last one and grabbing the key card. The barrier just doesn't even come up. This I am gonna do to be cheeky.
Yeah. Zoom climb on up. Are you gonna zoom climb this whole hallway too?
No, it's been going pretty bad in practice, so we're just gonna do it legit.
Oh, okay. That's fair, yeah.
Been getting blown up a lot.
Oh, hey, they're being nice though, these barriers. They're just
Hey,
these
really nice barriers.
Yeah, that was pretty good though. It's not perfect, but really, really good. And they just let us through. You know, we're in there. These guys are gonna wait, is this the guys? No. These guys are the ones that slide around. Yeah, there they are.
Yeah, the back one was.
Yeah, the back one's just sliding around. I don't remember what exactly causes that.
Surprise ice physics.
Surprise ice physics.
Ooh, but
What a guy.
thank goodness. Thank goodness for the Phoenix down. Might have to do the lack of memory card there. I think I remember NT mentioning something about that, but I don't know. Alright, so we're going to hit this person with a Bandaga, which is going to just chain to every enemy in the room, and the enemy that Dan aimed at is always the one that drops the key card. So it's a easy, consistent way to clear that room fast.
Yeah, I'm doing a very marathon safe route for this showcase.
Yep. The game's tough. I don't blame you. We're gonna use
nice
Thundaga
route.
here on that walker again. Yep.
Okay. I do have to lock in if I want to get that 15 chain, so I'm just going to let
So-
Cosmic talk about whatever.
Yep, so basically, there are a bunch of enemies up here in some boxes that Dan is going to try and build a 15 chain off of to do a trick in the next fight that will allow us to skip a phase. I'm going to let him just kind of do his thing, so I'm not in his ear the entire time. Go for it, dude.
Had to finagle that, but we got the 15.
Hey, we did it. Nice. Okay. So now, limit flex. Essentially, all you need to know is that if we headshot this boss, Dan is going to go into a transformation sequence that is going to cancel out the way that this boss is coded to refill her health or like to go into her second phase when she hits a certain health threshold, and it will instantly down her.
She played so nice. Thank you,
Oh
Rosso.
my gosh,
She
dude.
played so nice.
She stood in place and she was like, "It's fine."
She
I
was like, show them
understand
the cool
now.
trick, Dan. I got you.
Yes.
She didn't
So
even
you
move
saw there,
and
yeah.
she reloaded.
At all. No. Yeah, she reloaded. She was like, "It's fine. Don't worry. You can move on. You got the 15 chain. You earned this." But yeah, so you saw that even though she had a little bit of health left there, she normally has a second phase. But the limit breaker there that we use, which is just an item that turns Vincent into the Gallant Beast from FF7, prevents her from actually going into her second phase. So we don't have to do that. And yeah, it's got a tight window on it too. And the way that the projectiles work in this game, Cerberus actually shoots 3 projectiles, one from each of its barrels. So you have to land all 3 of them on her in that instance to be able to skip that phase and get the quick kill. So very nicely done. Now we got a little bit of movement going on.
Yeah, this is a very movement-heavy stage, but it has the benefit of having an absolute 10 out of 10 banger of a song playing throughout the majority of the stage.
I forget the name of the song, but it is like
it's
one
called
of my favorite songs.
Pursuers.
Pursuers, that's right.
I believe, yeah.
Oh yeah, people need to get their cat jams out for that. When it pops up, you'll know. You'll know. There's a lot of bugs in this level too. I mean features, but also bugs. So
That joke was bad, man. I'm sorry.
it's fine. It's okay.
There's
It's okay,
a bug.
'cause, yeah, there's a bug. I mean a feature. But
I mean a feature.
then we're gonna go and grab this. We're gonna go and grab this Mako point here. Build a little bit of a chain here.
Ouch.
Get 1,000 gil as well. My goodness. The red potions here as well, they actually roll from like the entire pool of health refill values. So it can either roll like refilling 1 health or like the amount of health that an X potion will refill, which is your entire health bar. Yeah, I might use the Potoin value. So since Dan got a huge chain from earlier with those explosive barrels, we can just move on to the double Black Widow fight, which is just 2 of those walkers that we were, thundagging earlier. One is going to stick to the ceiling, the other's going to be on the ground, and we're just going to be doing some good old to them. Line it up. Nice. Yeah, so the AoE there just chained to both of them. Just got the full damage value up from it. You also see Dan doing melees to enemies or like bosses after they're gone or like they're despawning. That is actually just to get a little bit of extra experience and therefore a little bit of extra gil for the levels, because doing the melee still counts as damage when you're colliding with them. So it's not like a ton, but it can make a difference.
There are also some little like micro time save things that I do. If it's one of those things where you don't notice it unless you like know the run of this game, but like for example, whenever I have to interact with like a panel on the wall or a terminal or something, I tend to reload my guns before I interact, because the interaction cancels the reload animation, whereas if I just reloaded normally like while I'm schmoovin', it's obviously going to slow me down.
Yeah, you do the same thing as well, like when you reload while going into load zones. The load zones like entirely cancel that animation.
And this is our water break, stretch break elevator. If you need to stand up or get something to drink, now is the time to do it. You have about a minute.
We love video games that give us a nice little break to self-care in the middle of them.
That's why Dirge of Cerberus is an excellent speed game, because it feels super fast, even though it's like, an hour and 25 minutes on average. You get a restroom break right in the middle of it. It's a great speed game.
We love it.
Sorry, someone in chat just said Dirge of Cozy, and I...
Dirge of Cozy.
What?
This game is cozy?
Cozy? That's what I choose for.
Look at my hand. Look at my hand.
You'll be doing fantastic,
I know that when I want to relax, I often invade underground military bases.
As one does.
A totally normal Sunday morning activity.
I have to make sure that I bring my my vampire cape though in order to do it. Otherwise, I'm just not reaching maximum comfort, dude.
You also gotta look stylish too, right? That cape is
True.
very important for the look.
If you look good, you'll feel good, and you'll do good.
So true. Genuine good advice.
Based. And then here, we're just gonna be doing a little bit more movement.
I'm
gonna grab a
sneak through this door.
Yeah.
All the guys
there
are
we
coming
go.
through.
We do get to hear the
This room can get scary.
Oh yeah, this is a little. Ooh. Yikers.
Another elevator. However, this one, I do have to
There's combat.
pay attention because there is a little bit of combat on this elevator.
Yeah, most notably, like the mines that actually circle Vincent here. If you end up accidentally shooting one of them, you will go down. Vincent will just be gone at the current health that we have. If you were like leveling up more often than not, like, and you have a ton of health here, I think there's a chance you can actually just survive this and just tank it. But we would die at the 1,100 health that we have. We are technically like kind of under leveled in terms of health, or just in general, but we just have so much attack damage and magic damage that it just doesn't matter. Plus, like, the way that we're like plotting out the chain shots. So Dan is going to be very careful to shoot around the mines, and I say that as he shoots into the blades of one of them, like the daredevil that he is. But now Vincent, precariously going to sit here amongst all of these mines and be like, all right, I'm good. I'm chilling.
You don't mess with me, I won't mess with you, mines.
Yeah. Truce?
Cool.
Truce? Dirge of Armistice.
Dirge of Cerberus.
I still like Dirge of Cozy better than that one.
That's fair. I can't compete with the coziness.
I'm gonna try to sneak through this door.
Yeah, here we go.
Hey,
Nice.
that saves like 15 seconds, I think.
Yeah, it just doesn't close in time, and the game does not think that we're gonna be able to move as fast as we are. So it's just kind of like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna keep this door open for a little while, and you can just city dash through it. So now we have like a big chain here that we're building. And we're gonna use this for the next boss, which is gonna be Azul the Cerulean.
Just making sure I had enough mana.
Yeah, makes sense.
I've just enough.
Never be too careful.
Mm-hmm. This is another blink and you'll miss it boss. Actually,
There's no.
I was gonna say it's a blink and you'll miss it boss, but you actually do get to kind of see what I do.
You do get to blink.
Specifically because his like dialogue, you have to wait for his dialogue to be finished, and then you can hit him with the chain shot.
Yep. So we're going to use the limit breaker here and switch to the power cross, because this is one of the instances where we're going to use the melee attacks of the Gallant Beast. We don't see the boss actually right here because
I can turn my
went
camera so
behind
you can
him.
see him.
But I assure you, he is attacking us, and we're just going to use this melee string here to just attack him. He is always going to attack us immediately after we finish the string, but you can cancel the recovery animation and just go into another string, and you just kind of heal through everything that he does.
And we are heading into the longest stage now. This is Shinra's Dark Secret. What do I need to buy? I need to buy that. Shinra's Dark Secret, yeah. It's like I've played this game before.
Maybe once or twice.
Yes.
We are going to start with a cool zoom climb to skip a like shooting gallery section. There are these gargoyle enemies, and you have to defeat all 10 of them to then spawn an enemy to drop a key card to let you go through that barrier. But you can just zoom climb over the trigger and you skip that whole section. Don't even have to worry about it. I'm going to descend like Batman once again, take out these guys, and we're going to be doing a much more involved version of keycard preservation, as we just learned from that previous stage, where we preserved a keycard and then skipped a turret section. We are preserving multiple keycards in this stage in order to skip, fun fact, multiple turret sections.
Yeah. Now we go down here. Would have been nice to get that guy, but unfortunately he escaped our clutches.
Yeah.
There's another card key. Dan's going to take these guys out for safety purposes.
So now I have 2 card keys in my inventory, and I have not used them for their intended barriers. And then this room has a bunch of enemies that are actually immune to bullets.
Yep.
Except for this guy.
I think it's the black
But
armor
everybody
soldiers
in the... Yeah, the black armored soldiers. And so I have to use magic on them to take them out.
Yep. And we actually used to skip this room, but with the card keys, we figured it was we actually figured out that it was better to preserve the card keys that we get from this room, and then use them to skip something later on instead of skipping this fight entirely. Because you can just, one shot. You can just like one shot all the black armored soldiers in that room pretty easily with Vandaga. Yep. We're gonna go over here too, just right over the barrier. Bada bang, bada boom. Don't need to go and get any more key cards there. And then we're gonna go into.
This is an on-rails section that we cannot skip.
Yep.
So it's kind of a chill point in the run.
More Dirge of Cozy time.
More Dirge of Cozy time. A cool thing about that previous room that I zoom climbed over, there actually is a way to skip over that barrier that is allowed in no major glitches. It involves doing like a melee aerial combo with Vincent and then bringing out your gun, like putting it in the ready mode like this. And that gives you just enough height to slip over that barrier. It is allowed in the no major glitches category. And so you can potentially preserve a key card from the bottom of the room, go all the way back up the ladder, and then do that trick, and you can skip the last turret section at the end of this stage that we're going to skip. Gotta make sure we give some attention to the no major glitches category.
Definitely, yeah. Has not been run a lot since any percent really like ramped into what it currently is, but it is still a pretty cool category, indicative of
any percent
how far
just
the game's
became
come.
Any percent became such a cool category that everybody wanted to run any percent.
Yeah, I think that like the any percent glitches saved like 13 minutes or something, and that's just basically like it was like one glitch getting found that just broke the game open. And I mean, like, it might not seem like an hour and a half versus an hour 20 or an hour. I think hour 17 is now down to where the record is, but that is a lot of time. That is a ton of time in speedrun land.
Yeah, when zoom climbing was discovered, it absolutely broke this game, like, in half.
Yeah, definitely. I also like to at least mention, like, one 2006 fun fact. So, in the year 2006, when Dirge of Cerberus came out, it was and this is topical since the Super Bowl was last Sunday. The average cost of a Super Bowl ad in 2006 was $2.5 million. And instead of doing that, you could have just bought 35,000 copies of Dirge of Cerberus, and I feel like that would have just been a better use of the money. That's for only a 30-second ad, by the way. Only a 30-second ad.
As a good reminder, didn't this game just have its 20th anniversary a couple weeks ago?
Yes,
It did.
Shout-outs to 20th anniversary of Dirge of Cerberus.
Mm-hmm.
Time is not moving slowly enough. Also,
we get a
2006
remaster
was
of this
the
game.
true.
future.
Also, 2006 was the last time that Western Union actually like sent out a telegram, and the contents of that telegram were just, "You know what to do, Cerberus," which is what Vincent is about to say here coming up.
Also, totally random fun fact, but in that section, there's a voice line from one of the Deep Ground soldiers. He says, "Follow!" And that's my follow notification noise for my alerts.
Nice.
Follow.
Follow.
It's supposed to be follow him, because that makes sense, but it cuts off after he says follow. Don't know why.
You know what to do, Cerberus. That's my guy, Vincent.
That's my guy.
That's my guy. So now we're going to build another chain here. This is not actually going to be for a boss, and we're not going to carry it for very long. We're just going to kind of use these mini chains. Yeah, it's a small one. We're just going to use it to take out these guys a little quicker. And then we're going to be getting the key card from these guys as well to move forward. But we're going to back up a little bit after grabbing that key card and then zoom climb over this wall so that we have this card key in order to move past another area. There's also the Potoin there. Potoin is just it's just like a joke item. It actually just only heals 1 damage.
It's a joke in the speedrun community that if you grab the Potoin, it invalidates your run. That's not actually true, but we just say it.
Take these guys on out, and then grab the elixir there, and then we're moving on. Moving on. This is where another one of the autos, like the auto turret sections is. You would have to probably take like 2 minutes or something. But we can just use the card key. Boom.
Let's just go right through.
Yep. And that is like one of the, I mean, outside of the time save, right? Like the turrets being like not in the run nearly as much, except for that one point in the second mission. It is really cool because now we just get to spend 95% of the run in the core gameplay, which is just,
yeah.
I mean, that's the fun part. So, you know,
yeah,
not having any breaks in that is good.
Yeah. Aside from the on-rails sections that we've already seen, there really are no more on-rails sections in the game. Like, it's just been action throughout the run.
Yep. Indeed. The slow walk. This area, this level is, like, also pretty famously, like, it does just, like, have a lot of joke items, and now that I'm remembering, like, that jukebox there is fake as well. Like, you would think that that's the shop, but I forget exactly what it does. I don't know if like an enemy spawns from it or something. There's mines here. This thing just comes from overhead. In the next area, like, enemies just like barrels bust through the wall and try to hurt you. This next area here too is running out of time. 28 seconds left.
Except we're not.
This
we're
is
actually on decent pace.
True.
Is there anything else I need to buy?
This next area is called the Courtyard of Death as well. And the reason that it's called the Courtyard of Death is because you can lose a lot of health here pretty easily. But fortunately, we can just dodge a lot of it.
Yep.
Sometimes there's like a load wall there that will like prevent you from moving. So.
Yeah, there was a person on a turret over in the corner, and he just unloads on you as you go through the doorway. But with our last preserved key card, we were able to skip the Courtyard of Death, and now we are getting into our next boss. This is the only boss in the entire speedrun that does not have a chain shot setup. And that's just because the way he's coded. He has phase transitions in the fight that don't allow us to one-shot him, unfortunately. But it's a cool boss.
So we do have to... Yeah, it's a cool character design. I really like this character design.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen him from somewhere, though. I feel like he looks familiar. Are there any Final Fantasy VII Intergrade fans in chat? I feel like I've seen this guy before.
Nah, maybe just one of those faces. Oh, this is the guy from Metal Gear Solid 2.
Right.
Or is he the guy from... Oh, wait, no, Nero. That's the guy from Devil May Cry 4, right? That's
yeah,
right,
he's got the robot arm.
Yeah. This is such a cool character design. I really love this character design.
Get a little bit of health left.
Ooh.
Hopefully we don't see any other characters that show up in Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade.
Ooh. Maybe not. That is actually also the last mission where we play as normal Vincent as well. I think? No. This next one is...
Got one.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, we got one more. I'm getting ahead of myself. My bad. It's always because that level is like so long that I'm like, surely the end of the game is coming up, right?
That level feels like it should be the penultimate level of the game, but this one actually is, and it's way shorter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So now we're going to... This is also just a little bit more movement coming through. This is the area that Ketchi was in earlier as well, like, or at least an area similar to it. And we just kind of gotta just move on past these guys. And some gargoyles. There's like, oh yeah, defeat the gargoyles. I'm good, dude. I'm actually just gonna keep going.
Yeah, there's not even an EM barrier. It's just like, kill all the gargoyles, and it's like, nah, no thank you.
Yeah, I'm good. These guys, you do gotta use a card key to get rid of them, but nothing doing. There's also like a little bit extra gil you can pick up here too, which is nice. If you were like really strapped for cash, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Dan was also able to get a little bit of extra health too. You see that he's at 1340 now, as opposed to the 11-0 that we were at most of the run. That's cool.
Yeah, luckily our gil route is pretty much done. There's one more upgrade that I could get for the long barrel. It's for a trick that, if I'm being totally honest and transparent, I've been struggling with in practice, so I don't think I'm going to be able to showcase it today, but it just turns a 2-cycle boss fight in this stage into a 1-cycle boss fight. Yep. Saves like 20 seconds, maybe.
It's a tough one, too, so... This guy right here is also a bit of a jerk because there's the key card that he drops can technically like fall down if you kill him too fast or like you keep him juggled in the air too long. That's why you saw Dan like delaying the shots of Thundaga. It's because otherwise the key card could fall down to the bottom of the area and we would not be able to get it. We'd have to restart.
Yeah, that would be a soft lock and I'd have to reload a save.
Yep. Which is not cool.
This
These enemies
cool
do not activate as long as you don't. Yep. As long as you don't touch them. And then we're going to move into the last zoom climb of the game, which is going to skip an entire boss fight, by the way. We would normally have to refight the dragonfly from the very first stage. But with the power of we're going to not have to.
Oh no. I wasn't high enough.
Oh no. Are you just going to restart checkpoint or what?
I think if I restart checkpoint here, it will restart the boss fight.
Oh, darn. All right, we'll allow it. We'll see what happens. I mean, worst case scenario, you just have to do the boss fight. But normally we would just not have to do this at all.
My visual that I use to know if I'm high enough is the guardrail on the side being out of the camera view. But yeah, it just restarts the boss fight.
You. Oh, unfortunate.
Oh well. That's chill.
Yep. I mean, we totally do this boss fight all the time, actually. What was I talking about?
Yeah, this is, this is just fully intended.
Intended, yeah.
If you want to see how that trick
Fortunately
actually looks like, check out one of my other showcases.
Yep. But basically, we just don't do this. You just walk right over to the door. Fortunately, it's not too long of a fight anyway, so that's fine. It can get pretty long if you just don't have good DPS on the boss, but again, fortunately Dan is good at the game, so we don't have to deal with that. We move on past these guys, and this is going to actually lead us into the Arachnero fight. I believe this is Arachnero.
Yeah, Nero guy, he's back, and he's a spider for some reason.
He got 8 legs, bro.
And each leg has a gun.
Can you imagine, dude?
For a second, I believed you were actually telling a real fact.
No, that's not true.
That's a dirge fact right there. That's not a real fact. That's a dirge
Beautiful.
fact.
Beautiful.
I'm just thinking about that the whole time. Darn you, Dan. What a curveball. Alright.
For the remake, that's what they'll do.
I hope so now.
That would be insane.
Yeah, Square Enix, when you release Dirge of Cerberus Revengeance, can you make sure that every arm on this boss has a gun, please? So the prophecy is fulfilled.
We're pretty much just
The
doing
shield
this
is
fight
almost down
casually
here.
at this point.
Yeah. It is what it is. I'm gonna be honest too, I barely understand this boss. It's
Hey, you
so...
know what? If we get the
so
chain, I can do the
strange.
one cycle.
Oh, nice. Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, we got the chain.
We doing it? Oh, we
I can do the one cycle.
Oh, my... Oh, let's go!
We did that fight slower to do this next fight quicker. It was planned.
Yeah. It's RNG minute, dude.
He is my only light.
Of course, he spawns right in front of me.
Only... I was gonna say, is he gonna spawn right next to you? Brother.
Wow.
This guy is
Wow.
such a jerk. This guy is such a jerk. Alright, here he goes. This is where you should have teleported, Nero. What are you doing, bro? Oh. Now this is gonna, I think, be a 3-phaser because of that, but... Okay, 2
So unfortunately, I had the setup for the one cycle, but I got a 3 cycle. Dirge of Cerberus.
Yeah, that was a Dirge of Cerberus moment. Yeah, it's just unfortunate that we can't control where he actually teleports to, and that was pretty much the worst spot for him to teleport to. Was right in front of Dan, because then he ends up doing that spin move, and it just is oh gosh darn. So now we go into the fight against Vice. And Vice, I remember playing this game casually the first time. I thought I had to beat him here, so I was using a bunch of heals and everything, and I was oh, this game's just impossible, sick. And then I eventually was what would happen if I just died? And that's pretty much what you have to do here, is you are just forced to fail during this first phase. So, once we get through all of these load screens, Vice the Immaculate. Oh, that was nice. Nice of him, too. Pretty quick. And now, we're going to use a Limit Breaker here. And so differently to how the Limit Breaker normally functions, so Vincent is actually currently transforming into Chaos Vincent. So if you use a Limit Breaker here, he doesn't actually go into the Gallant Beast form. He just gets like really souped up stats, and he can fire really fast. He does, I think, a little bit more damage. And we just can totally, like, almost stun lock Vice empowered here. Unfortunately, he's being like a little rude and just constantly deflecting the bullets right now. But Dan is getting some really nice like sequences of shots on him to build up a lot of damage. There was a nice crit there too.
And cheeky little crit.
And
there.
yeah. I actually
And
don't
that
remember
is
if it's
Vice
placebo or not. Nice. Yeah. I don't remember if it's placebo or not, but like I always feel like running in that circle like you were doing just kind of allows the shots to hit easier, like in better sequential order.
I will swear up and down that it does help.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I also
I
swear by
can
it. Yeah.
explain how it helps, but it makes the shots shoot slightly faster and then build up the damage like you guys were saying.
Yep. So now we're going to level up again here, because again, as I incorrectly stated before, and now I'm going to correctly state, that was the last time we play as normal Vincent, and we are now going to play as Chaos Vincent. So no more city dashing, no more nothing. We're just going to be flying around, looking awesome, and with a gun that like one-shots everything.
Yeah, as typical with like hype like character action games, spectacle fighters, whatever you want to call them. When you reach the end of the game, you usually get powered up in some way, like you get a gun with infinite ammo, or you do more damage, or you get a new form. The same applies with this game. So we are now turning into Chaos Vincent, which has a whole different moveset, a whole different gun. It's called Death Penalty. It's the ultimate gun from Final Fantasy VII proper. Basically, new gun, who dis?
And now you just get to dash. This is just Vincent's normal dash in this form, is that flight. Something like that's a little funky too about these levels is that the amount of time it actually would take to shoot down an enemy that could interrupt you during your dash is at the same time it would take to get stunned by an attack. So the risk reward of optimizing these levels based on your movement is whether or not you want to try and not shoot anything down and, you know, technically not, or hopefully not ever get stunned, versus playing it safe to not get like shot multiple times in a row and, you know, eat the stun animation.
Yeah, unfortunately, everything stun locks you in this form.
Yeah, quite unfortunate. Now we're going to move in here. Build a chain that isn't really worth anything, but, you know, it's fine.
Just shows that I'm playing fast.
Yeah. And then I think this is where GAC actually begins.
Oh, yeah. Have you guys ever heard of Gacked?
Gacked.
Are there any?
Gacked. He did that
Are there
song
any
for
Gacked
Devil May
fans in
Cry
chat?
5. It's gonna start up with the there he is. Now here also you don't like it starts loading into this cool song, and we just don't have to do anything during this part. We just sort of
my hands are off.
sit here. He's just nothing. The Bujin guy, yes. The Gacked likeness was actually used in the game Bujin Guy: The Forsaken City, or as it's called in Europe, Bujin Guy: Swordmaster.
That sounds like a better name. IMO.
I like the Forsaken City, to be honest. Big fan of the Forsaken City, personally.
Oh, you messed up the pattern a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just one of those like hype moments in the run where it's just like, you know, all the stressful parts of the speedrun are over. Like, this is my victory lap, and I'm just listening to Gacked, zooming through, looking like a badass. Like, this is great.
Yep. Looking like Alucard, you know?
Yep.
And then there's the vocals just kicking in. Ooh. Gotta love it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, no more Gact. Gact is.
Oh man, victory lap.
I know,
over.
I know.
Fitting too for how the beginning of the next stage can go. To be honest.
Yep, we are now heading into the final stage of the game. We are almost done with this run.
One final level up.
Mm-hmm.
Omega and Chaos.
Don't need any healing items because this boss is easy. But we do have to deal with crystal feelers. Do you want to explain what crystal feelers are, Cosmic?
Terrible. But besides that, crystal feelers are a mini boss essentially in this game where you have to. It's random which one opens up at any given time, and the game will basically roll a die of 1 to 6. Depending on what one is supposed to open, and if it rolls for but it never eliminates any sides of the die. So let's say you close the feeler that's corresponding to the number 4. If it rolls 4, it just waits to roll again. It doesn't eliminate the 4 side from it. So you can be sitting here on this last these are some pretty good feelers. I mean, they're making a liar out of me right now, but there are times where this last feeler just takes a while. Okay, maybe this is gonna because now it's rolling for a 6-sided die on just one side is the actual truth one. There we go. Nice.
It's feelers.
But they can really mess you up. Yeah, it's true.
When you're on world record pace and it does that, it hurts.
Oh yeah. It's like the last it's literally the last RNG check in the run is just having to deal with that. Omega Cocoon goes down pretty easily. And then we fight Omega Vice. Yeah, final boss time.
Time will come up when his HP drops down to 0. I will call that.
We're going to use limit breakers here as well, because the limit breakers are going to make it so that we don't have to reload at all. And Dan is getting some pretty decent shots here. You're going to try and get both the Gundam, basically, as well as Vice, who's in the cockpit, at the same time. I want to at least aim for 2,000 damage on each of them at a time. There we go. All right, almost wrapping up here.
And that
go for it, man.
Is time.
Nice.
GG.
Nice run, dude. Nice run, dude. Very cool.
That is Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII. I hope you all enjoyed this showcase. I've shown this game off a couple times before, but today, again, I just wanted to promote I can't say that word for some reason. Accessibility in speedruns with the turbo controller today. Typically, speedrunners of this game do have to manually mash in order to perform that zoom climb technique that you saw me doing. And in order to gain the proper amount of height, you need to input 10 inputs per second. So you have to mash very fast in order to perform that trick, but with the turbo controller, it's easy and makes this run way more accessible for anybody who's interested. As of right now, turbo is not allowed on the boards for speedrun.com, but right now this is just me getting on top of my soapbox, me and Cosmic, to say, let's let turbo
happen
on the boards.
Yeah.
It's time.
There are implications it could have on the run,
make it
which
more
is one of the
for people
main,
to enjoy this run.
Definitely. Yep. It'll happen. We'll make it happen.
Accessibility matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Cosmic, you want to do some shout outs? You are going to be playing the next game up, so
yeah,
I guess
I'll save it. Yeah.
Off.
I'm just going to say shout outs to Dan. Every time this guy shows this game off, he does an excellent job, and this guy has casually put 10 years of his life into this game. He has been there basically from the beginning. I know he makes this game look easy. I want y'all to know this game is hard, yo. And it is such a punishing run, and every time he does it, I am always happy to be here commentating for him. He is awesome. So shout outs to you, Dan.
Thank you, man. I think that's all I've got. Cell, do you have anything for us?
No, just thank you so much for coming on. When I started the show, I knew this was one of the games that I wanted on, so it took a few episodes, but we got here. And this was so much fun. Chat had so much fun with it as well. Now, do not go away, everyone. As was just said, Cosmic is up next with another definitely RPG, also from Square of the PS2 era. It's going to be wild. It's going to be silly. We're keeping up the vibes. But while we are getting that set up, I recommend you go to rpglimitbreak.com, check things out. The deadline to submit for our charity event is today. So go check all that out while we're getting set up, and then come right on back, because you do not want to miss this next game. Welcome back from the break, everyone. You're watching Hidden Encounters, the show all about indie and obscure RPGs here on RPG Limit Break's channel. And just to remind folks that we have a whole bunch of different social media platforms that you can find us on, but the one I want to highlight for today is our Discord community. Great place for finding all sorts of announcements, such as important dates for our upcoming event, and as well a community. We have things like Archipelago Multi-World. So much fun, a great place to chat with other RPG fans. But I don't want to delay, because I am very excited for this next run. We have Cosmic back here, now as the runner. Hey Cosmic, what is this game?
This is Kingdom Hearts 0, starring Sion from Kingdom Hearts. He begins this game by saying, I've been having these weird feelings lately, like, does any of this even bounce? But this is the bouncer. It is a beat 'em up that was released in 2000 by Squaresoft. This game almost didn't get made because of Spirits Within bombing so hard, funny enough. And people also theorized that this game was like Eargeese 2 at one point. But my name is DECosmic. I run a bunch of action games. With me, I have a wonderful commentator who also runs this game, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Musk424, and yeah, this is probably one of the best Kingdom Hearts games I've ever played.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so we're just going to get on into it. We're going to be playing as the main character, Sion Barzad. And I'll give you a countdown, and then we'll just get on into it. So in 3, 2, 1, go. So getting on into it, Sion is a bouncer at a bar in a city that I forget the name of currently, but he's got a bunch of friends, Co, Volt, and then Dominique, who is like, she's gotten kidnapped by these ninjas, and instead of trying to beat them as quickly as possible in this first stage, we're going to let them beat us up, because that's actually faster. Then, you know,
Term
not doing
faster is generous, depending on if they decide to behave or not.
You know, that's true. That's true. You can lose like up to a minute just on this, but it's funny to just, you know, have this be how the run starts out for showcases. So, but actually they're being pretty nice here, to be honest. Wow, that was actually really nice. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. This is an RPG, definitely, because you have to level up and you get bouncer points, you know, similar to experience points, in order to level up your skills and buy new skills and everything. You also increase your rank from G all the way to S, depending on like what you've bought and everything for your stats. So, but it is also a beat 'em up. So what we're going to do here on these guys is we're just going to kind of loop this guy right here until we get to the crowd. Okay, and then that guy's going to definitely be I'm going to definitely intentionally get hit by him. This game uses the pressure sensitive buttons on the PS2 controller. So if you try to run this game with a converter, it just really doesn't work. Because it's always going to do like the hard presses, but in order to do like this combo here, you'll do a light press and then a hard press. So and you also have like buttons mapped to all of your limbs and everything too. Asuka, do you know more lore about this game? I like am blanking on a bunch of stuff.
I mean, well, clearly we're looking at Sora 1.0, Zell After Hours, and then voiced by Stephen Bloom under a pseudonym. So there's some good lore there. But yeah, with the each one of the characters has a different type of fighting style and an attack you'll see the runners use. Like the Sion's very much the punch mage. So you'll see that 2-hit combo, which is the soft heavy attack. the main character I run, he is a kicky boy, so he does a soft, hard, high kick and a low kick. And Volt just likes to bring the party down with his fists and tries to ground pound with the same, I think, soft, heavy attack combo. But actually, when it comes to those bouncer points, you'll see they receive 20 points, which you saw Cosmic get in the earlier fight, the previous fight. There was a chain, and that chain really helps level up the characters quicker. If you can defeat an enemy within a second enemy within a certain amount of time, you can chain these, and that chain can skyrocket your bouncer points. There's also a catch when it comes to bouncer points. Your friends, in this case, are not your friends. If they get the kills, they get the bouncer points, and you never see them again. This also includes boss kills.
Yes. Yep. So most of the time, too, we're going to be using the bouncer points to level up our attack power. We don't need to level up health or defense. We're not concerned with any of that. Because also, enemies like rank up with you when you get to higher ranks, so they technically get like tougher to defeat. So we're just trying to keep our rank pretty low. We're going to only go up to the F rank. There's also like a nice little, he knocked him down too. So this is one of the funny things about like all the adaptive RNG that you have to get used to in this game, is that like your pals can just knock down these guys that you were planning to do, like have them ragdoll into each other, because when enemies bounce into each other in this game, and this includes you getting bounced into your homies, is every bounce will just do more damage. So when groups of enemies are clustered together, you can just like, if they just ragdoll back and forth on each other, it's just basically an instant here. We're also going to get into the first boss fight here.
Yeah, like Cosmic said, it can affect your teammates as well. So you can go from 100 to 0 with one really bad ragdoll, and you're just like, well,
yes.
try again.
Yep. All right, so let's see if Echidna is going to be nice to me today. There we go. Okay, we're going to actually use this guy as collateral. Never mind, he didn't work. That's fine. Okay. She's really hitting this with the Tekken 3 right now. Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
She's good. All right. Nice. Ooh, with the ragdoll. Okay. And then we're moving on. Nice. Okay, so now that Echidna is down, that can go so south, so I'm glad that it just did.
For some reason, Echidna 1 is just rude. Just Echidna fights are just rude.
So rude. Alright, so here is actually like one of the only breaks in the core gameplay we're going to get. We have to check 3 boxes. What's in box 1? Nothing! What's in box 2?
I don't even remember what
my gosh, it's nothing!
The boxes are.
And then in the box 3, it's always box 3 is what we need. I don't even remember what's in those boxes. I think it's just a key.
What's in the boxes either? Like, just go check boxes.
Remember.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go check the boxes. We got it. I love the, I forget what like Old English font that is, but it's so good, dude. It's so great. A lot of the story for this game, like there's like inklings of backstory told in this game about the characters through the load screens that are pretty dope. So you actually get to learn like a lot, like how Volt used to work with Echidna. You learn a little bit more about their relationship through the load screen lore. Or the LSL, as I like to call it. I don't call it that, but we're going to call it that for the sake of the showcase. The LSL. So here we're going to just be running through like some hallways as well. We're just going to be, again, you just kind of bank on these guys not messing with you, and then it's like, oh yeah. I do got to say too, because people always comment on this whenever I run this game, is that Sion really got some sway in his hips whenever he's just running.
Right? They don't lie.
He's getting a workout, man. He knows what it is.
And actually,
There's
a
no
quick point of note is, right? You'll notice like when Cosmic is really close to enemies, Sion slows down, like as you just saw. But as soon as he gets far enough away, he just starts going full blast. So Cosmic's weaving his way as carefully as a game called the Bouncer can allow to get past everybody. and try to get back to that running speed quickly.
So
It's the
finally,
deep. It's
we
the
are
deep
out of
tech
there.
in this game.
The deep tech, yes. The tech where the game's like, actually, you can go faster this whole time. Thanks.
It's like what?
Now we're gonna approach Asuka's favorite mini boss here.
Oh, I
The carrier soldiers.
hate these. They have my name at least in like 5 different languages. They block so hard.
Much. Okay. There. Okay. Ooh, hold on. Nice. Okay. Good. Excellent. And then we're going to be able to get this right here, which is going to allow us to go to rank F. We're only going to get one more upgrade after this.
I see a comment chat. Obscure like this game ain't game of the year every year. True statement.
So true. All right, here we go. And then, okay, all right. The load screen. All right, sweet. And now we get to select Sion again. And this is the first time where we really get like a mix of like enemy types in here is like these watchdogs. You actually have to pretty much exclusively use Sion's kicks on them. We used like a lot of kicks on Echidna as well, but like his punch attacks just barely reach her hitbox. So like using a couple like of different attacks that Sion has is pretty key to like how you're going to knock the enemies into each other, as well as like understanding which enemies are actually going to get hit most consistently by what ones. That guy's down, and then Ko is just going to stand here and stare at this guy half the time, so we got to clean up his mess. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't expect your friends to actually help out. A lot of times they are going to either stand there or ragdoll into you.
Or they'll take your boss bouncer points.
Or they'll take your
No.
boss.
Yes. All right. So this is Mugetsu. He's like Raiden if Raiden were. I mean, Raiden is totally insane in Metal Gear Solid Revengeance or Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, but he's even more so, and he likes to do like big dance moves and everything. There, like right there, he just took out like half my health. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
My goodness. All right. Hang on. Oh. Okay. He just. Okay. Okay. Good. I should note, by the way, one of like the things about this route compared to like Vault and Ku is that Sion actually has the least health of the trio.
Yep.
So he is like even though he's the main character, he's the squishiest. Vault is just a tank, and Ko is like somewhere in the middle. But Sion,
Ko's legs are
like
far enough to
scrappy
where
little
like
dude.
he just yeah. Ko just he knows his legs are far enough away where he doesn't have to worry about anything.
Yeah. Here's Duragon, who's gonna fight us with one hand tied behind his back. This is like Rufus from Shinra at home. Yeah, Rufus on the blue light special because he just definitely got dusted like he was from Kmart, dude. So
This is all the Rufus.
yo, little Rufus. All right, sick.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a bunch of
Don't worry.
cutscene skipping here, where you learn that Dominique is actually related to Duragon. I forgot to upgrade, but it's fine. We're gonna do that the next chance we get.
Yeah.
Now, this is actually the point in the game where all of the characters are split up. So, depending on what category you are playing, this entire section is different. Sion actually has to fight a different boss here, and he actually has to do like the most running around. Oh, yeah, here we go. So
Yeah,
now I
he's
can do
got
this, and that's the last upgrade.
One extra boss compared to everybody else, where Ko does a pseudo stealth part, and then Volt just beats people up.
Yeah, Vol's just doing what he does best.
Yeah.
But here we got to do like a little like maze, but it's always the same every time. There's no like random encounters or everything here. We just have to do one scripted fight. Where, well, sometimes the analog stick messes me up there and will send me into like that room, and we would have had to do an extra fight. But fortunately, not the case. Also, you see Sion standing in place there. I'll tell you right now, I'm hitting the analog stick, and then he just doesn't move, dude. He doesn't move for a couple of seconds, but we're
Like,
chilling.
You're appreciating those shorts.
It's true. I own a pair of
Yeah.
shorts similar to this because I have done like a closet cosplay of this character, and it was a lot
And
of
for
fun.
those that
I
haven't
gotta admit.
seen Cosmic's closet cosplay, it is on point.
Only I could have gotten the logo made on there, but it was a little bit much for a closet cosplay. Also,
fair.
these guys right here, if they want to be nicer. All right, hang on, buddy. All right, there we go. Ooh, yes. All right, this is the Roomba. This is like the most dangerous Roomba I've ever encountered in my life, and my Roomba at home has definitely been an adversary. So, props to this Roomba for outdoing the real life one, to be honest. A guy definitely tried to swallow my Ethernet cord at once, and I was like, bro, I'm trying to stream. Here's the other one going down. And then
The other one's like,
all
oh,
right,
there's something going on. Comment in chat. I see Sion's color scheme, and I can't help but think that he was the stunt double for Sora. No, Sora wishes he was Sion when he grows up.
It's true.
That's pretty real.
This is like, Sion was just like, you might be immune to magic, but you're not immune to these hands. That's like, he's just Sora when Sora's had enough, dude. Sora's like, nah, dude. This is the real key to the heart right here, bro.
He doesn't need a kingdom key anymore. He has these kingdom fists.
This is the strength that's lying in the heart of everybody. Right here.
I'm sorry, I was corrected. Kingdom mitts. There we go.
Kingdom mitts.
Kingdom Mids. Oh wow.
Oh my gosh. So here's the extra boss that we're gonna fight, which is it's the logo from the Puma clothing line. And this boss's name is 3 question marks. We'll get into why that is here in a moment. But we're just gonna kick it. And now it's done.
Like, that cat's behaving. Every time I fight her,
Quite
she
well.
charges at me the moment I start my attack.
Yeah, usually it's a catastrophe, but nothing doing. We're moving on to Mugetsu 2. We're going to see if this, actually, you can get ragdolled really easily in this fight, because he is super mobile. All right?
It's a really tight space.
Yeah, the best thing you can really do is just kind of get him off to, like, his lonesome, and then just loop him. So, like, the way that enemies wake up in this game is actually, like, a little random, but they'll kind of, like, turn in place. And if you can get around to their back, you'll be able to consistently like hit them from their back, because guarding in this game doesn't actually protect you from every direction. It will only protect you in like a semicircle, essentially. So if you get behind the boss, it's just like, no.
And it doesn't really tell you so much in the game, but the guarding, like, it's not you don't get to like permanently be able to guard or block. 'Cause you'll notice as you block or defend yourself more, your character's arms kind of sag to the point where they're just like, no, I'm just gonna take full damage. It's fine.
Damage actually now. See ya. This is also where we're gonna have to run past a bunch of construction robots. This is just a typical Sunday morning for Sion. Just, you know, this is also like the only sort of escort mission too.
And this is where you find out, oh, by the way, Dominique's an android. Sorry to spoil your deep lore here. It's fine. It's
okay.
Yeah, I think
yeah, she's actually she's an android that Duragon constructed to look like his late sister.
Mm-hmm.
So, fun stuff.
Yeah,
definitely not creepy at all.
Nope. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to worry about in these 5 floors. I think the only thing to really worry about is rare occasions where Dominique will just get like body checked into oblivion.
Jump kick, dude.
Right?
Got jump kick. Oh my god!
It will just happen. Like, there was one time where did this, and out of nowhere, Dominique just dies. I'm like, excuse you. Because if she falls, it's game over.
Yeah. All right, so she actually made it past that loader robot, which is nice. And then we're going to move on here. This is the second to last room in this little area. Again, this kind of all just follows a script. You just kind of move through here, nothing doing. And then we'll just run past this guy. This guy always will pretty much, as long as you just run in a good enough line, he's never going to actually hit Dominique, so you're pretty much safe there from then on out. And then now we're going to move into an android fight who's like a mech or cyborg, essentially. His name is PD-04. He's got like some pretty cool kicks and stuff that he does. He has like a whip sword arm, which is pretty dope.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna not let him play. He does this, and then we can punish him. I don't remember him having the boxer sway there. That's new. Did I mention I run this game a lot? He's just
Once in a
never
while
done
he
that.
gets it.
Oh my goodness gracious!
He took offense that
That's
he
fine.
didn't get a chance to play.
Yeah, he did. All right, so fortunately I have backup saves here, which we're just going to start from. Just to
and here's
redo
the
the
thing,
fight,
like,
because when you die, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's this game. The every single fight, you can die. You can theoretically just get wrecked in any of these
Yeah.
fights. It is so wild.
Yeah, it's actually happened like later than I had expected it to. Because Echidna in like showcases, she's usually the one that like stonewalls me essentially.
For me, it's Echidna 2. I get past Echidna 2, I can breathe a sigh of relief, and then die to Mugetsu 3.
Amen to that. Oh shoot. All right. Okay. Excuse me, sir. Okay. All right. Almost done here. All right, buddy. There we go. Nice. Now he's down. And we're gonna move on. So now that we've conquered this boss, we're gonna take on something even more terrifying: construction robots. There's Dominique being activated as a sleeper agent. She's like going into battle mode and stuff, and it's like, well, I don't want to fight that, so we're just gonna run away. And then we're gonna fight these guys. So there's LD-X1, and then I think the other ones are LD-15.
That sounds right.
Not to be confused with the Mudvayne album, LD-50. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, these are
Okay, that guy's
fairly
down.
straightforward. When they behave sometimes, they just kind of want to be like, hey,
Oh, of
we're
course
not
they did
just...
that. Yeah, it's fine. I just literally have a safety save at every fight, so it's
every
like
point.
every point that can go wrong.
Yeah, I think we're racist, and we pretty much each of us bring like a backup for every single fight.
Yeah,
Two memory
cards. Yeah, yep,
completely filled memory cards.
yep. Because the way that I have it set up is like there's a memory card that's like, well, a memory card and a half essentially of every fight, and then the last point, like the last points on my second memory card are just all the boss fights back to back, just in case that's like where all of the pain points are.
Nice.
Yeah.
You come prepared when you run the bouncer.
Yeah, right. Bouncing is
Like
serious.
for those that haven't seen this in a while, like honestly, if you got a PS2, find a copy of this. It's pretty inexpensive, and it is a fun run down memory lane. Like it's so fun to play this again, and trying to get a good time is a challenge, and it's a very fun challenge.
Yeah, it's like definitely like a really easy, just sort of pick up and play type run. I'm like, there's definitely some really punishing RNG in terms of like how annoying some enemies can be, but like you can just sit down for a couple hours, just roll the dice and have a little bit of fun doing some attempts. It's pretty great. All right, we actually separated Echidna from the loaders, but actually we knocked her back again. Thanks for that, Co.
Nice.
We'll do this now. Should be almost wrapped up here. Nice. That went.
Echidna is rough here as it is, but with the loaders also just bouncing you in between. Oh, this fight makes me cry. I'd say this is probably the next one's. Oh, go on.
I was gonna say this is like one of the like if you get hit by those guys at the very beginning, you can just lose like 75% of your HP when you just get ping ponged back and forth between them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now this is the only choice that's a little spicy for anybody that runs Sion, because you'll notice Sion's always the first character you choose. For this first selection, you don't choose Sion, otherwise your run is dead.
Yeah.
Because that first character you're sending away.
Alright, so we're gonna try and get behind him. Oop. Okay. There we go. And then we'll get behind him again. And then we will do nice, good, excellent. Love to see it.
That is a big sigh of relief, because Mugetsu 3 is rude.
And then we're going to be moving into the home stretch here, actually. There's only 3 bosses left. Only 3 fights left. What are you, anyway? He says to the cat that now turns into his old girlfriend.
Spoilers!
Spoilers!
What-
It's
what?
Chaldea!
This is a sequel to Animorphs.
Oh my goodness. Yo, shoutouts to Animorphs.
Shoutouts to Animorphs.
And now we're going to go into the next couple of fights. We have to do these actually back to back. So if we die on these, we have to do both of them again. This is the final Duragon fights. We're on this giant space laser now. This is unforgivable, Duragon. And now Duragon's using both of his fists to fight us. He's not holding back anymore. But we're just going to loop him, nothing doing. I love the sound
We're
effects in this game so
bouncers. Just bouncers of a bar in space.
I'm going to also grab this just in case. Just because it's funny, honestly. That's the Buster Throw. And then I'm going to do this. Ooh, excuse me. Famous last words. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. And then we're going to hit this. And then we can kind of loop him, I think. Oh, shoot. Okay. Nope. Okay. Okay, good. He attacked them.
Ready?
Okay. Oh, of course he did that when I tried to throw him. All right. So we're going to have to back up a little bit here. Of course, he would do the airborne move when I would try to throw him, just because he likes to block so much. I'm like, okay, I'll just grab him, but it's whatever.
Well, it's like in addition to doing these back to back, that means the health bar does not replenish. So if your first
we made it.
Duragon, so Duragon 2 isn't good.
Yeah, yeah, it can be disastrous. But these are literally just the last 2 fights. So here we go. Yeah. Once again, we're gonna fight good old Duragon to Dish's unforgivable Duragon. All right, starting off good. You can also kind of frame trap these guys by doing the 3-hit combo as well, because it's so delayed sometimes that they'll just be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna stop blocking now. And they just won't do that. I'm just gonna not buy Buster Throw this time just to save a little bit of time in the menu here. All right, so we're gonna do this now. I also like how he's like my final form overalls.
Well,
the Lowe's outfit. Okay. Well, I mean, it's technically not the final form, yeah, because if you play through this game in with an S rank, there's an additional. My gosh.
Okay, please.
Duragon, please, indeed. Here we go. But this is why we have the current estimate.
Mm-hmm. My final form, glistening abs. Axe.
True. All right. So now I'm going to have to really lock in, for better phrase here. So here we go.
Yeah, it's like in the best ideal scenario, you also don't want Duragon targeting the character you're controlling. If he's paying attention to one of your other boys and just having a conversation with him, you can immediately go behind him and just start looping him into oblivion. But every once in a while, he'll just, as soon as he gets up, he says, you know what? You're actually doing damage to me, so I'm going to focus on you, and it gets a lot harder to get through his blocks. So, he still behaved in this first form, so that's good. He magically gets superpowers when he loses his jacket. Rude.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Oh, of course. Yeah. I don't know why he did that. I'm gonna have to just do regular punch. He's just so uncooperative right now.
Mm.
The bouncer.
All right, here we go.
This is indeed the bouncer
experience. This is just straight up.
This is the bouncer experience. Yeah. This is what I was talking about, like how you do just kind of roll the dice for like half an hour, where it's like, everything's going great. We had such a strong early game. The guys were nice to us in the beginning, but this is just kind of how things can end up at Duragon. Like, it is honestly an absolute I've had some real heartbreaker runs in this game where everything is just so smooth leading up to this guy, and then he just walls you off. And it's like, all right, well, there we go. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do.
Attack where I just bounced like between Sion and Volt multiple times, and then Duragon just came up and curb stomped me. I'm like, well, there goes that PB. Thanks.
Oh, not what I wanted Sion to do. Okay. There we go. Nice time.
GG's.
GG.
Good grief. Well, after being walled by Duragon, my apologies, everybody. That guy's something. Reminder, Sion's a bouncer. He's putting his life on the line. Yeah, it's true. Oh, boy. All right, well, that was the bouncer. I just want to... I don't really have a ton of shout-outs, just shout-outs to everybody that showed up today to witness both Dirge and the Bouncer, two incredible PS2 games. Thank you so much, Cell and RPG Limit Break, for having us on today. Thank you, Asako, for being on today for commentary as well. And shout-outs to everybody that continues to show my streams on twitch.tv/DECosmic. I know I don't stream very consistently, so I appreciate everybody that shows up there and supports as well. My controller's going nuts right now, so my bad. But yeah, so that is it for me. Once again, thank you so much for having me on, and it's been a pleasure. You should play this game. You out there.
And you should follow DECosmic. twitch.tv/DECosmic.
Also, this shot right here of just Duragon floating in space. Yeah! Beautiful.
Absolute cinema.
That's it from me.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much. This was a wonderful episode here. Again, this is one I've been planning for a long time. I'm so excited that you all got to see two wonderful, obscure RPGs, maybe? Games that I love. But this is a great reminder that here at RPG Limit Break, we actually don't define or like gatekeep what an RPG is. You tell us what you think that is. So I'm gonna roll this now. This is a great transition. I'm doing a great job of host. I'm just too excited about the Bouncer. As a reminder, submissions close today for RPG Limit Break. This is our annual charity event. It's going to be happening live in Denver, Colorado, May 17th to the 23rd. And submissions for games are closing today. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is your last chance to get them in, both for remote and for on-site runs. You can submit at rpglimitbreak.com. Sign in, create a profile if you don't have one yet, submit through there. If you've submitted and you want to double check that your submissions are there, you can check that there's a page to these submissions, or honestly, just sign into your profile and double check that they are all there. Now, if you go, maybe I'm busy that week, or you're unsure about submitting to a charity event, but you would love to be on the channel, we are taking submissions for random encounters, hidden encounters, which is my show, which you just watched, or any other community showcase ideas as well. Reach out to a member of staff. We'd love to be in contact with you to chat about how we can showcase your game here on the channel. And easiest way to do that is to get in touch with us either in our Discord, !Discord in the chat. We'll give you a wonderful link to it. Come join us. We have a wonderful time in the community. Or on any of our socials. Come chat with us. We would love to see you. But of course, first and foremost, we love to see your submissions to RPG Limit Break. So get those in before the end of the night. With all that being said, I've been Selcouthmind. This has been Hidden Encounters. Had a great time. Tune in next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern, where we'll be seeing a random encounter with Super Mario RPG Armageddon. Sounds like it's going to be a wonderful, fun time. But in the meantime, we're going to raid out to someone else doing some more RPG speedrunning, so have a lovely rest of your day.